Right, Tony, so here we are, nice sunny day in Warrington as usual. It's my turn to interview you, so I'm just going to ask you a few brief questions.
Fire away.
Right, perfect. Right, here we go then. So what do you think of the performance of the squad and that was out there last week against Dewsbury?
Yeah, a bit mixed. I think some people played really, really well and playing themselves back into a bit of form. I thought even your performance was an improvement. Yeah, which is good. It's good. That's what we're after each week. We are after people to improve, and some people on top form. I thought there was a couple a bit off their form, but I've got to say they were very spirited, Dewsbury, even though they were a bit under strength. Yeah. I thought some kids there caught the eye from Dewsbury as well that really troubled us at different stages. So credit to Dewsbury, but yeah, there were some aspects of our game that was very strong and we needed to improve on, but there's still some aspects that we'll need to improve this week, that's for sure.
Everybody knows Chris Hill's an amazing player, and it just showed glimpses of a different side of him last week at Dewsbury, his passing game and his ability to obviously break the line, but as I said, his passing game, and it showed it every day at training, and then we saw a glimpse of it at Dewsbury. Would you encourage him to do that more in our actual Super League matches?
Yeah, he thinks he's the answer to the halfback position now through the week. As you know, he was telling us all about his passing game. So, no, it's terrific. We see him practice that, and that's something that he adds to his game. As you know, he's a terrific bloke to have in your team and to have in our team. And he just keeps amazing us each week, that he just keeps turning up and performing, but he does practice hard, and he's trying to add to his game all the time. So I think in some ways it surprises us that he keeps getting better, but in some ways it doesn't. He was on fire last week, and he was one of our star performers. He's still working on that kicking game. I think Harrison's working on that with him, so it might be a while before he takes over the kicking role.
Yeah, no, it brings us nicely into the Salford match as well. Obviously, a nice win under our belts. Obviously, be it not a Super League opponent, but it was a nice performance, albeit. So now we go on to Salford. We've got a few good friends there. Big Mozzers will be there. What's your concept of how they're performing? Obviously, everybody knows they've got a few injuries and they've got a few suspended. What kind of challenge do you think they'll bring?
That makes them dangerous, I think, and even a couple of their recent performances where they've had defeats, they've not been far off it. They've had a couple of games pinched off them as well, so they're showing a fair amount of spirit there already. I know they've had the extra week off from us. Yeah. They'll have used that time to really scheme into how they're going to get under our skin. They were really had a dig at the first round of the year. They really had a crack at us, and I think they felt like they were, a bit hard done by. So they'll have all sorts of motivation this week, but we've got enough ourselves, and it's a bit of regrouping for us. We've had a little bit of an upset with the Hyam situation where he's gone now, but we can rule the line under that and get on with it. We've had young Brad Dwyer come in and do a great job for us last week and really picked us up in enthusiasm, and he's a character, as you know, and fits in so well. So that's been a good one for us. But yeah, they're a dangerous team. They've got some very good outside backs who can hurt you if you don't concentrate all the way through, and they've got some seasoned campaigners up front who can hurt you as well, and even Moz, he's still running around and doing a great job for him. And
he gets them line breaks like he did at Magic Weekend.
He does.
He's done a couple of those this year.
I don't know who's the most surprised though, Moz or his teammates.
Just on the Hyam situation, obviously it's brought us as a group closer together, and we've really dug in and we've used the word unity a lot. I'm glad it's out in the air now, when it's out in the open, and we can really crack down and get on with the rest of our Super League campaign. I'm
glad it's finalised, and I think the lesson for all of us is, you really only want people who want to be here and 100% committed, and it's made us all, consider that and focus on that, and hopefully it has, whilst it wasn't the most pleasant thing to go through for any of us, and a lot of us got caught by surprise by it and shock, really, but sometimes that's just the reminder that we all need, that we do need to commit to each other, and we need, we are part of a club and a team that, and if you're going to do things together, in terms of achievement, you really do need to be together. And it's reminded us some of those those ethical things that we need to look at. And we've had some big discussions as a team, and I think when you clear the air on some of those sort of things, they're things that go unsaid for a long time until something like this happens, and it's brought us together in that respect.
Yeah, and finally, done a bit of a poll. I know you love Twitter and Facebook and all those social medias. Everybody's guessed that I'm your favourite player in this squad. Is that true?
I have a lot of favourites. I don't know is that been set up by you and voted by you as well?
Yeah. There was only one person who answered it, was myself. Just guessed myself.
And I would have answered too if I went on those sort of things. Listen, I've got a lot of favourite players. They're all my boys are my favourite players, and you all know that. But as long as they're playing well. All of yous end up not being my favourite players when you're not playing so well too. So you're back in the good books this week.